So if you have all this initiative, motivation, drive, but now you become obsessive with your business plan or obsessive with this next project.
This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black
Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black.
And now, here's your host, Blair Durham.
Greetings. Welcome to this 34th edition of Black Wall Street Today with Blair Durham. This edition is sponsored by Milestone Mental Health Agency, where the vision is greater than oneself. As a reminder, May is Mental Health Month, and so we're certainly promoting mental health awareness. Our sponsors like to say that mental health is not a destination, but a process. It's not about how you drive. It's about where you're going. Today's topic is a source of great anxiety. We will be focusing on debt. We're hopeful that by the close of this edition, we will receive some expert advice on avoiding debt where possible and managing or eliminating debt where it already exists. Our phone lines are open today, 757-727-5711. Again, that's 757-727-5711. If you have questions about your debt and ways to resolve it, we want to direct you to our experts. Here with us today are Mr. Anthony Epps and Mr. Michael Gray. Anthony Epps is the CEO and president of Apex Financial Group of Virginia. His business partner, Michael Gray, is the company's vice president and marketing director. Together, they have over 50 years of experience in business and financial planning. Apex Financial Group of Virginia is a full-service financial advisory firm located in Portsmouth, Virginia, specializing in a wide range of strategic planning tools to help you realize your financial goals. They are no stranger to our show. Welcome back, gentlemen. How are you?
Good.
Good to be here.
Yes, absolutely.
It's great to have you. Your expertise is certainly in high demand as our debt as a community continues to escalate. I'm really hopeful that today you can kind of help us get a handle on it. That's my hope. Again, our phone lines are open, 757-727-5711. Again, that's 757-727-5711. Gentlemen, I understand that you have some new programs that can assist in this effort.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about what you're offering.
Well, the debt relief program we have, we're showing people how they can get out of debt in 9 years or less, including their mortgages, without spending any additional money than they're already spending. And it's a great program, got it off the ground, and people are very excited about this program. Myself personally have got involved, and I'm getting out of debt myself.
Wow. Wait a minute, I want to make sure I heard this correctly. Out of all debt, including mortgages,
yes,
in 9 years or less. So we're talking about student loan debt as well?
Student loan debt, credit card debt, mortgages, you name it.
Okay. How does it work? What more can you tell us?
Basically, it's a matter of looking at people's debt, seeing what they got going on, looking at the interest rates, looking at the time they have left on those particular debt, and setting up a strategic plan to allow them to eliminate that debt in a short period of time.
Sounds amazing.
Well, it is. Like I stated, got things in action, been doing it for several years now, and people are very excited throughout the country, and people are eliminating their debt.
Huge. How important do you believe this effort is to our community at large in terms of being able to establish wealth? I feel like the two don't necessarily go hand in hand. You can't have tons of debt and have wealth. Do the two cohere?
The program that we have really will help you establish the wealth with this program. We'll show people how to get out of debt and then take that money they're using to pay the debt off in that shorter period of time and start putting it towards building wealth for themselves.
Got it. So instead of making such an investment, such a large investment, so to speak, every month into our debt, we're able to translate some of that into investments?
Investments to create the wealth for them.
Yes.
Savings.
Yes.
And this program we have for them, once they create this wealth, it'll it'll be a tax-free program to allow them to help them financially through retirement.
Wow. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Where do we sign up?
Well, that's what people are saying to us. Once we show them the program, they're ready to sign up. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind with this program we're talking about actually getting rid of all debts, okay, including your mortgage. Now, the biggest piece in most people's budget is the mortgage payment.
Right.
And the mortgage is a piece that a lot of people tend to struggle with because of the fact that with most mortgages, your first 17 years that you pay, very little goes towards principal. Mm-hmm. So a mortgage is like a reverse type financial instrument because you pay interest. It's top-loaded interest and then back-loaded principal.
Right.
So technically speaking, when you look at a mortgage, you end up probably paying back on an average 3-to-1 ratio, which means that you pay back 3 times more than what you borrowed. And the sad thing about it is the fact that when you take out a mortgage, in most cases, you're buying 2 houses, one for yourself and one for the bank.
I've heard that before. I think I heard that from you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do people know that going in?
Not really, because of the fact that, again, when people look at a 30-year mortgage, what they look at is just the fact that they're going to payment, they're going to interest rate, and they got a 30-year payout. And a lot of times
they don't really do that math, do they?
They don't do the math because when they go to a closing, they don't take time to look at the amortization schedule. If you take a look at that, you'll see basically where the money is going. For example, with most mortgages, your first payment, 80% of that payment is going towards interest, and very little is going towards principal. So what happens is that when you look at what you pay back, it's far more greater than the interest rate. Okay, we get stuck on the interest rate. I got a mortgage of 7.5%. When you look at the overall payout on the mortgage, it's far greater than the interest rate that you're assuming that you're paying. So with that in mind, what we do, we try to eliminate the mortgage, okay, in a very short period of time with this program that we have, debt relief. And by doing that, you're taking a big piece out of the budget, which can turn into savings for you, which can create wealth, which can create savings and investments for you.
What a travesty that we don't have this education sooner. Because I just wonder, and not to go too deep into the world of mortgages and real estate and so forth, but isn't someone in that transaction paid to protect the buyer's interest, or at the very least to explain to them what it is that they're doing? Or no?
Well, a lot of times when people qualify for a mortgage, you have to qualify on income.
Sure.
So most cases, they have to go 30 years because it's debt to income ratio. So you have to have credit, you have to have collateral, and you have to have what? Income to support what you're basically trying to borrow. So a lot of times a 30-year mortgage keeps them in the ratio to qualify.
Got it.
But technically, you can actually get a 20-year mortgage, a 15-year mortgage, 10-year mortgage, a 5-year mortgage. But they don't offer those programs because people don't ask for them. They're available, but they're not popular. Because
and someone would have to have a really great debt to income ratio, a really low debt to income ratio in order to qualify for such a program.
Right,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But what you're suggesting is from wherever they are right now, there's still some changes that can be made to impact getting this debt paid off much sooner.
Sure. And this is nothing new for us paying off mortgages. The old system, people would send in a payment or two each year to try to reduce the number of years. With our program here, basically what we do is we eliminate it in less than 9 years. Okay?
Yeah, that's strong.
And by eliminating less than 9 years, that money, I can't state it enough, that they were paying towards the debt, take that money and basically start allowing them to save it for themselves so they can have their own bank.
I've heard that terminology before. Say a little bit more about what that means, because that could go over some folks' head. They can have their own bank.
Yeah. If people take their dollars that they're putting toward debt, once they pay that debt off in 9 years, they continue to save that money for the 30 years that they had on their mortgage, and that money would accumulate on a compound interest basis, on a tax-deferred basis, and they will have money to assist them for retirement and other things that they want to do.
I got it. Sounds like it really requires some discipline as well, which is another area of weakness seemingly in our community. Is that something, because I feel like the benefit in working with someone like you all is the accountability.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I could do this on my own.
Yeah.
I can figure out how to do this on my own.
Right.
But working with you all, there's some built-in kind of structure to say, hey, you know, are you reaching these goals?
Right.
Right?
As an advisor, you know, I tell the clients that get involved, you got to have some discipline to do this. Ain't for everybody, but if you're disciplined, you want to be disciplined, you want to get out of debt, then we can help you and show you how we can make this strategy work for you.
That's strong. Yeah. I don't want to be the only one asking questions here. In case you just tuned in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. Our show today is focused on debt management and debt elimination. We are talking with Anthony Epps and Michael Gray of Apex Financial Group of Virginia about an incredible program that they have to help us get out of all our debt, student loans, mortgages, etc., in just 9 years. Our phone lines are open, 757-727-5711. Maybe this is something that interests you. You know, maybe you've been trying to figure out how to do it on your own. Call in, 757-727-5711. Would love to answer your question live on the air. We're talking about discipline. What were you going to say?
Well, you know, when I sit down with a client, I stress to them, this program works, but you have to be disciplined to work the program properly, okay? Because if you don't, it'll blow up in your face. So, you know, and I tell them that, you know, my firm is here to assist you with that process. So, you know, you just have to follow, I say, the yellow brick road, so to speak, to make it work for you. And that's what I mean by really being disciplined enough to do this.
Yeah. Is it something that, oh, we got a phone, maybe a caller, we'll see. But I'm just wondering, do you take people through this process in groups at all?
Well, basically, I've been doing one-on-one because we're talking about people's finances, their credit. Everybody don't want to share that with other folks.
True.
They're private. So we do a one-on-one session in most cases with a single individual, a husband and wife, and sit them down in the office and basically run through the program, show them how it works, and just tell them that we are there for them. We'll continue to assist them with making sure they accomplish their goals and getting out of debt in 9 years or less.
Okay. Let me ask you this. You got somebody for me? Okay. Question is, does this program require an additional loan? No, not a loan, not involved. That's huge.
What we're saying, we can show you a way to get out of debt in 9 years or less without spending any additional money than you're already spending is the key. Okay? Then if that can happen, we can show you how to get out of debt.
I think we got a caller. Black Wall Street Today, this is Blair. What question could we answer for you?
Hi. I'm just calling because I have been paying quite a bit on my principal and up to $150 per month in addition to the regular payment. And I want to know, I only owe $50,000 on the house. Is it possible for me to get that down so that I will not be paying that? I'm not due to finish paying for it until 2025. And I'd like to know how I can eliminate that distance in payment.
Okay, so you said you have a mortgage, right? $50,000?
Yes.
Okay, is that a balloon that's due, or is that a regular 30-year note, 20-year note? What type of note is it?
It was a 15-year note. And I've now paid it down to $50,000.
Okay.
And the interest rate is 4.5%. I want to know how I can eliminate that. I've been paying on the principal for about 2 years now, up to $150. I want to know how I can hurry up and get this done, the full payment done.
Got all the details you need? If so, I'll let the caller go, and I just ask if you would stay on the line and keep listening, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
you're welcome. Thanks for calling in.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, we can help you with that. Matter of fact, you got a $50,000 balance left. We can show you how we can eliminate that debt, and we have a program here with the debt relief program that could assist you in, accomplish that goal. And the thing about our program is, again, we can show you basically how we can take that $50,000 off the table and get you to your results that you're trying to go. So
she's saying she's within 9 years though.
that's still
she's
fine.
due to be done.
Yeah, that's
in
still
2025. We can get it done.
Yeah, we still
less time than that.
We still can put it through the program, and the program pretty much do the same results for her as well. We can probably she was spending extra money towards her principal. She was spending $150 per month towards the principal. So we can take that extra money along with other things we do and probably get it done in less than 9 years. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to be going to break in just a moment, but let folks know how you can be reached.
Okay.
Apex Financial Virginia Incorporated is located in Portsmouth, Virginia at 355 Crawford Street. Our phone number is 757-640-0207.
757, one more time.
640-0207.
0207. Okay.
And the email address is apex_of_VA@yahoo.com.
Okay. Awesome. I've got just a few words here from our sponsor before we head into our break. Again, we talked about the fact that May is Mental Health Month, right? Debt is a great source of mental health anxiety. Here are 10 ways to recognize anxiety in yourself and in others. Memory issues, right? Trouble concentrating, needing reassurance, avoidance, procrastination, rapid heartbeat, headaches, a lack of patience, overthinking, and panic attacks. Wow. Certainly want to encourage you, if you're experiencing any of those symptoms of anxiety, contact Milestone Mental Health Agency. They do have a Facebook page. You can visit them there online as well. We will be returning in just a few moments. On the other side of the break, we have Dr. Janae Taylor, who is a licensed psychotherapist, that'll be joining us to talk to us a little bit more about the mental health piece. And then we'll be coming back to Anthony Epps and Michael Gray. We'll be able to take a few more of your questions regarding debt. We'll talk about some other programs to help capitalize your business. Again, this edition is sponsored by Milestone Mental Health Agency in honor of Mental Health Month. Our Add This to the List guest is Dr. Janae Taylor. She is no stranger to the show. She's a licensed psychotherapist in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where she owns and operates Taylor Counseling and Consulting Services. Janae works with Black men and women who are struggling with harmful self-evaluations. Therapy with Janae helps them create a more empowered and focused sense of self that is more aligned with their beliefs and values. Janae also provides consultations to Black entrepreneurs in every stage of the game who are working to balance their mental health, Black identity, and successful businesses. Minding My Black Business is a movement and podcast dedicated to the mental health of Black entrepreneurs, led by Dr. Janae Taylor. The goal is to engage, inform, and support other Black entrepreneurs as they manage the business of work. Welcome back. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for having me back. I know, I'm excited.
It's okay for me to have favorites, right? I can have favorites.
Listen,
don't tell anybody.
I got favorites too.
Okay.
It's great to be here.
So, Mental Health Month, Black entrepreneurs. Talk a little bit statistically about sort of the challenge there and where you kind of see yourself in terms of helping us to get through it.
Oh, okay. How much time we got? Okay.
We got 10 minutes.
Okay.
In the world of TV, that's forever. Okay. Radio, that's forever.
Okay, that was reassuring. See? That was reassuring. So statistically speaking, and these statistics come from like the National Alliance on Mental Illness, so NAMI and SAMHSA. On average, about 18% of us, so about 1 in 5 of us, we're thinking about adults, meet the criteria for a mental health diagnosis.
1 in 5 humans?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, about 1 in 5. So it's 18%, about 1 in 5. 1 in 5 is sometimes easier to remember, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about you and your 4 closest friends, chances are one of you all meet the criteria for a mental health diagnosis. So this is everybody. We're talking about everybody, not entrepreneurs, just everybody. Now, if we decide to put the lens of entrepreneurship on those group of people, on all of us, there was a study done back in 2015 where not black entrepreneurs in general had to talk about the ways in which they're dealing with their own emotional health. So do you feel like you're struggling, that sort of thing? So in that study, 72% are dealing with mental health issues, right? So now we're talking about 3 out of 4 as opposed to 1 in 5 when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Wow.
Right? So those numbers have just jumped ginormously.
Yes, they did.
Right. So don't get discouraged, but this is what I think is going on. And this is some of what was said too. So entrepreneurs in general are a unique set of folks. They're usually highly driven, very creative, very motivated, like to work outside of the box. They're just innovative people, sometimes with lots of energy. They're leaders in their field, or sometimes outcasts in their field because of some of the wonderful things that they're doing, or ahead of the times that they might be. So those are all beautiful characteristics. These are also things that can drive you into mental illness. So if you do things that are not attending to your health, so if you have all this initiative, motivation, drive, but now you become obsessive with your business plan or obsessive with this next project, that you're not sort of attending to your issues, or that you are so creative that you no longer have balance, that you're focused on this one project, or you find yourself when you can't sort of think through a job or a project, that you're sort of staying in bed, finding yourself depressed. We'll see that in movies, like the creative angst that we see people going through on things. But these are actually things that happen to entrepreneurs. And we might not think of it as that, because maybe this is part of our process to get something out, when in fact we might actually be dealing with a mental health diagnosis. So
wow, even if it is just for that span of time.
Right. So it's a fine line that we have to be really careful about, because the things that sometimes drive us and help us produce are sometimes the things that are also not doing us, our body, any service. So it's really tough. It's really tough. Yeah.
Because on one hand, I need the stuff that entrepreneurs create.
Right. Yeah. We benefit greatly from all this wonderful stuff. Right.
You hear really sad stories about folks going way before their time.
Right.
And, mental illness translating into other illness.
Right. Or the other way around. You could become physically ill, and then that catapults into something. You become more anxious, or become more sad, or maybe become traumatized by your lack of ability. It could ruin your relationships. Yeah, it could really sort of take you to a downspan when it comes to entrepreneurship. Yeah.
And so, may I ask, in your practice, are you? I can imagine you're working with people the full gamut of in terms of where they are with it.
Yes.
Maybe it's early onset. So
yes, just thinking.
Full blown.
Right.
But where would you say most of the people fall? Like, they're not beyond repair.
No. Fortunately, I haven't come across anybody that's beyond repair, but that doesn't mean that they're not out there. They actually might not have access to resources, or even know that there are therapists who work with entrepreneurs. So that's a whole other thing. But the majority of people I see actually are sort of finding themselves in that fine balance between, I have a full-time job and I have my business, and I'm trying to figure out how to manage that. When do I make that jump? All those kind of faith walks we have to take when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So they find themselves there having to do those big decisions. I don't want to put my family at risk, those sorts of things. So that's sort of where they are. And we talk about those things. And it might even be about, I have a partnership and I want to make sure that is going okay, and that we have the foundation we need to continue to grow our business. So they really are in a place where they're making some kind of crucial business decisions about what the business will look like from now moving forward.
If you've just tuned in, this is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today. We're talking now with Dr. Janae Taylor of Taylor Counseling and Consulting, as well as the Minding My Black Business podcast, having a conversation in light of the fact that this is Mental Health Month. And we've just learned that entrepreneurs are far more likely to be dealing with issues of emotional health issues. Did I say it right?
Yeah. They're struggling with their own emotional well-being. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah. So 3 and 4 as opposed to 1 out of 5. Yep.
That's a huge jump.
It is a huge jump.
And then that doesn't even take into account race. It sounds like.
No. And so, unfortunately,
you had to look at that number.
Right. So I think it would depend. I actually think probably 3 and 4 might actually be pretty accurate for us too. Because I think there are a lot of ways in which we not necessarily overlook things, but make excuses for things that are happening for us or the reason why we can't sleep. There was like a recent video that's going around, I think with Steve Harvey talking about how he doesn't get his full 8 hours of sleep. I mean, so messages like that are kind of damaging that, kind of I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of thing.
Yeah. I wonder about
right.
whole, those mantras that talk about the necessity to be out of balance if you're going to be successful. Right.
Just you always have to be on or hustle harder or those types of things. And while that's very cute, makes for a very nice t-shirt, that doesn't lead to a healthy lifestyle. And it's not something you can balance. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's deep. Because I think the poverty piece for us means that we feel like, okay, we're going to have to work our tails off if we ever
Right. So that's the other thing, too. There's only one of you. There's only a certain amount of time, certain amount of units you can put, a certain amount of service you can provide because you're only one person. And I think as entrepreneurs, as Black entrepreneurs, we're learning about the different ways in which we can create multiple streams of income, which is nice that these gentlemen are coming back after this segment.
Know, right?
So people can catch on to that. So that you don't have to feel like you have to literally be working every inch of your business from, the time you open to the time you close, that you have other ways where you can sort of supplement financially you and your lifestyle. Because I know finances does weigh heavily on all of us as entrepreneurs and our mental health. So that's true.
Wow. Well, I know you have something coming up this weekend.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes,
I've already been talking about it on the show,
yes,
of course.
I would love to see you all there. So in collaboration with Black Brand, I will be the speaker and facilitator of Courageous Conversations, in which we will be talking about all these wonderful things and more, the ways in which us as Black entrepreneurs can attend to our mental health. And we might actually be in a great place, but maybe there's our fellow brother and sister in our community who's not. So if nothing else, we get to check in on how we're doing and then support others who might be struggling. But we're really going to have a conversation about how we go ahead and make these decisions to ensure that our emotional well-being is in the best place it can possibly be. And provide some resources.
That's what I was going to say. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. You're going to help us a little bit too.
Yes, we're going to help each other.
In there. Okay. And we're going to eat, and it's just going to be good networking and everything.
That's it.
If you want to register, and I encourage you to do so, these events have sold out all year long. It's MH, as in mental health, mhbrunchandlearn.eventbrite.com, mhbrunchandlearn.eventbrite.com. As of this morning, there were maybe 8-10 seats remaining. So I would encourage you to join us. We're going to be at the wonderful Cutlass Grill, there in Chesapeake, out on Battlefield Boulevard. It's going to be a good time.
Yes, I'm excited.
I always like it when there's purpose and coming together. And it's going to be great. Well, I want to thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's great to be back.
Yes, and good to see you. And look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. So here in just a few moments, we're going to be heading back to our conversation with Anthony Epps and Michael Gray with Apex Financial Group of Virginia. If you didn't get to tune in to the first segment, we were having a conversation about a debt relief program that actually shows people how they can get out of debt in 9 years or less, including their mortgage debt as well as their student loan debt. We're going to be opening the phone lines up again, 757-727-5711. I know for a lot of us, just getting out of debt would help with the mental anxiety, the emotional issues that we're struggling with. And so we certainly don't want to not have that conversation. So we learned quite a bit. Again, it's 757-727-5711, 757-727-5711. If you want to be a part of this conversation we're having about debt relief, debt management. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Okay, good to be back.
Yes. Well, let's pick up where we left off, and I know we want to transition the conversation as well. A reminder, phone lines are open if you've got questions about a particular debt scenario and you want to ask these experts. They have more than 50 years experience in business and financial planning. Gentlemen.
Okay. Also, too, we want to stress when we look at debt relief, paying off mortgages, also we want to let business owners know that we also can pay off their mortgages as well. They have mortgages on their properties, like commercial properties. We can pay those off in 9 years or less as well. So it's not just for residential properties, but also for commercial properties. So anything that has a mortgage, whether it be residential or a business commercial property, the program works for both. So it's a lot of
that was huge.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can assist with commercial mortgages through the same program.
Same program.
Okay.
The mortgage as well.
I think we've got another caller here. Glenn, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. This is Blair with Black Wall Street Today, and I'm sitting with Anthony Epps and Michael Gray. What question can we answer for you about debt?
My question, thanks for taking my call, first of all.
Sure.
My question is, my wife and I, my wife is retired. I'm about to retire second time from my job in about 5 years, but we have refinanced our house a number of times, so it's basically like we only been paying for I guess 10 years into a 30-year mortgage. And I've been seeing some things on the internet talking about using a HELOC to pay off your mortgage. And I don't know enough about it to talk educationally about it. And I was wondering if your financial advisor could recommend or let me know, is it a possibility? It's a good idea for my wife and I to do that or not? And I'll take it offline because I'm driving at the time. I want to hear it on my radio.
Okay, perfect. Did you guys need to ask any questions of him before he hangs up?
No.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, sir, for calling in.
Okay,
we'll answer it right now.
You mentioned the HELOC, and that's a tool that people use. But keep in mind, for HELOC, it's a line of credit. In most cases, people use that as a line of credit against the equity. And a lot of times, again, you have to qualify for the HELOC. But again, you're looking at a line of credit, which going to be another debt instrument. So what we're offering basically is what we do is we show you how to retire your debts and retire mortgages, okay, without going out getting loans, HELOC, or increasing your current budget. So our program is totally different. So yes, we can help you with that, and we can show you how to pay off the mortgages as well. Our program is basically unconventional, but yet it's very powerful and it's very effective. So yes, we can help you with that program and show you how we can avoid the HELOC. And that'd be a problem, much safer way for you to go because you won't have to go out and qualify for a HELOC loan or line of credit.
Awesome. Let me make sure Glenn has your information. Glenn, if you want to reach out to Apex Financial, it's 757-640-0207. Looks like we've got another caller. Channing, are you there? Channing, are you there?
Yes, Blair, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, ma'am. I am well.
Good to hear you. You got a question for our experts today?
I think the previous caller pretty much asked a question that I was looking to ask about a line of credit on your existing mortgage. That's one way. They were talking about another way that they possibly could help you other than a line of credit. What are those ways? Is it if anyone that has like a independent university? An independent line of insurance kind of deal. How is there any other ways?
So your question is essentially, how does the program that they've been talking about actually work if it's not a line of credit?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Do you guys need any more information from him before we?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll answer your question on the air, Channing. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Blair. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. What we advise is that we sit down with you, look at what you're doing currently, because we want to make sure that we can assist you and to show you how this program works. As I stated earlier, it may not work for everybody. That's why we have to take each client individually to see what they got going on, and then we can make an intelligent decision whether or not the program will work for you.
Got it. Did you want to add to that?
again,
the phone lines are going off the chain.
Again, the program.
We had this many callers since we started the show. Go ahead.
Keep in mind, our program is structured around this simple fact. We're going to help you eliminate that without increasing your current budget. So there's a strategy that we use that we can show you how you can pay off the debt without paying out additional money. So that's why it's a very, very powerful tool to use to retire debt.
More of a strategy. Okay. Phone lines are still open, 757-727-5711. If you've got questions about a particular aspect of your debt or you want to get some on-the-air feedback from our experts, feel free to call in. Again, it's 757-727-5711. I'm excited to learn more. Mm-hmm. What else do you guys have?
Okay, like I was saying, debt relief is something that a lot of people don't really consider the cost of that. The cost of that is very expensive. When you look at credit cards, when you look at mortgages, people tend not to really consider the overall payout. And when you consider what you're paying out based upon what you're getting, it's very expensive. And a lot of times this interest that you're paying out could be interest that you could earn yourself. And one of the tragedies about that is we tend to pay out more interest than we earn. And that's the reason why a lot of people can't create wealth. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't retire with wealth, because you end up paying out more than you earn. So what we try to do is take the interest that you're paying out and put back in your pocket so you can earn interest. And that's how you can really, really be stronger financially and create a wonderful wealth place for yourself. So that's the whole essence of this program.
That's huge. Looks like we've got another caller. Tammy?
Yes.
How are you today? Black Wall Street Today. Thanks for calling in.
I was calling about, I have a property that I want to try to see if I can get it paid off.
Okay.
He was saying that you can do other things besides the HELOC and other ways to getting your home paid off early without even using, I don't know, using the HELOC loan.
Yeah, without using credit, it sounds like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me make sure you have Apex number. It's 757-640-0207. Sounds like best case.
640-0207. 0207. Okay, and I can call him on this?
Yes. Sounds like best case scenario is to sit down and actually review your scenario one-on-one.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tammy. Have a good day. Wow, people have never heard of such a thing.
Well, it's...
Because I had the same question. Are we sure it's not another loan? You know, because we get calls all the time. Hey, you consolidate this and we spend less. And
as I stated, one of the things that I've been doing over the years is going out seeking opportunities and seeking ideas.
I know you do a lot of traveling to try and learn.
To help my clients. And this particular strategy, I went to a conference and it was presented to me. And, it's been working for people over the last 10 years. And I thought it was a great thing to bring back to my practice to help my clients and the Hampton Roads area people or people at large, anywhere in the country, really. It's a very, very powerful strategy that's been used. And as I stated, I was so excited about it, I got involved myself, and I'm leaving my debt.
Awesome. I think we've got another caller on the line. Morgan, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
What question do you have for our experts?
I had a question. If I have a house and I got it through VA, $150,000, and I had it since 2010. So are you saying I could refinance to save more money?
No, we're not talking about refinance, okay? Let me just stop you for 1 minute, okay? The most popular way for most people when they talk about getting out of debt is they're going to refinance a house, okay? That's consolidation. All you're doing is paying off debts, but yet you're still increasing the debt because you're putting the debt back on your house. What we're talking about is eliminating debt, okay? Eliminating, not creating debt. So what we do is we show you how to pay off debt, okay, without going out borrowing money, borrowing loans, the other debt instruments. We're going to take what you have now in your current budget, okay? And we're going to show you how we can use your budget to pay down your bills, pay off your mortgage in less than 9 years. So
then so I do need to come see you then.
Yes, sir.
Did you get his phone number, Apex Financial?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Yeah, give us a call, and we can sit down with you because, like I said, we'll show you exactly what we can do for you because we'll show you the structure and how we can help you get the mortgage paid off. Okay?
All right, thank you. Have a blessed day.
Same
Perfect. You too. Thanks so much for calling in. Wow. Some folks are about to get blessed. I'm excited.
Yeah, like I said before, most people, what they do, they don't get out of debt. They go out and they refinance. I'll take you back 10, 15 years ago when the market was booming. People was getting loans, buying houses, doing refinances. And what's so sad about refinance is that when people go out and refinance and get out of debt, what they do, they have a tendency to come back and get right back in debt again. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times they end up doing 2 and 3 refinance, and the mortgage never get paid off. So that's the most popular way most people tend to look at debt. They use other debt instruments to pay off debt, but the debt never goes away.
I want to apologize to the folks that are still calling in. We're about to go to another break, so we won't be taking any more calls at the moment. Man, debt seems like it's one of those things that it's just impossible to avoid. I mean, you're saying that once people are in a position where they're able to start paying off debt, they end up getting right back into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What makes it so attractive?
Because what happens is, what happens in real life is, you go refinance your house. You do debt consolidation. Mm-hmm. You go refinance your house, pay all your debts off. That's called consolidating your bills, okay? You get a lower payment. But in real life, what people do is instead of cutting the credit cards up, turn them up, what they do, they keep them. Mm-hmm. So what they do is, even though they got a savings, they still tend to use those credit cards. In about 2 or 3 years, they're back in the same predicament.
So they look at whatever credit has been extended them as a total pool of money that they have access to.
Credit is an addiction. Debt is an addiction.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
So
I'm going to keep it really clear.
How to live beneath their means, how to...
Right. And people tend to think that's the only way to go, is to just continue to pile up debt. Mm-hmm. Okay? And the sad thing about it is, back to a mortgage is 30 years. That's 360 payments that you're making, okay? Mm-hmm. It's been proven by government, statistics, that a mortgage basically has a tendency to take away what we call life because, with that comes stress.
Just talked about it.
Okay, all right?
We've got about 30 seconds.
So it can take away. It can take away instead of giving back to life, okay?
Yeah, about 360 payments. That's a lot.
And most people, 30 years, that's half of your life almost. That's half of your working life. Mm-hmm. We're retired 65, most people, right? 65, 70, take 30 years from that. That's over half of your working life. A lot of people
are not done paying the mortgage by the time they retire.
Exactly.
So they're living off less, but they still have this mortgage to pay. I just want to reiterate your contact information before we go to this break. Got 355 Crawford Street there in Portsmouth, right?
Yes.
757-640-0207. Or you can reach out via email, apex_of_va@yahoo.com. We'll be back with the issue of debt for the Black community. Just kind of take us there. Take us out, because this is bigger than numbers. This is bigger than, this is deep.
It is deep. And the way we're looking at debt is the wrong way. Because of the fact that we don't understand the nature of that. And that can have a devastating effect on us, not just financially, but also psychologically and emotional. And so what we try to do is we try to get you into a position in a good place where you can start earning interest, creating wealth, getting rid of debt. Because all that does is keep us in a state of paying somebody else. The reason why most people retire dead or they're broke in our country is because they never paid themselves. You have to pay yourself in order to create wealth, okay? You have to know how to start paying yourself. If you don't pay yourself, then you'll never have any savings, you'll never have a retirement. And that's one of the biggest problems that we see in our field of work is that most people, they're retiring with no income and no assets because they never took the time to have a plan that would create wealth for them. And we can do it through savings by using this program, Debt Relief. As simple as that. As simple as that.
Is it really that simple? Have
Yes.
we overcomplicated it?
No,
Do you think?
it's just a matter of people, as I stated, that really, really want to get out of debt and relieve themselves of being in that prison, so to speak, and start building wealth for themselves so they can have what we call their own bank. That's key.
I love that. I want you to reiterate what that means again so it doesn't go over our heads. What does it mean? How do we develop our own bank?
Well, basically, the payments that you're paying to those creditors, and once you pay those creditors off in 9 years or less, you take that same money that you're paying them, start putting it into your bank, let it accumulate. Once the money accumulate, then you have opportunity to pull it out on an income tax-free basis. Is what strategy we're utilizing.
Makes sense. So you're already accustomed to not having that money.
Correct.
Stay in the same frame of mind. Translate that payment into a nest egg for yourself.
Absolutely. That's how you can get wealthy.
We just ask you to stay within the confines of your budget.
Wait a minute, say that again on the mic.
We're not asking you to spend more money with this program. We're just asking you to stay within the confines of your current budget.
And it makes sense. We shouldn't increase our budget
Right.
if our debt is still existing.
Exactly. So we're going to show you how to stay within the confines of your budget, and we're going to show you how to use this strategy to retire debt. That's personal debt, that's credit cards, student loans, personal loans, automobile loans, mortgages, you name it. We can get rid of it.
Huge. Contact information one more time as we close. I think we've got about a minute left. Want to go for it?
Apex Financial Group of Virginia Incorporated, located 355 Crawford Street, Suite 320, in the city of Portsmouth, Virginia. Phone number 757-640-0207.
Awesome. You want to give your email as well?
Email address is apex_of_VA@yahoo.com.
Wonderful. This has been fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen. Certainly look forward to having you back next quarter.
Yes.
to talk about the next thing.
Thank you.
Edition number 34 is a wrap. We'll be back next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Phenomenal. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram. And then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week. I have said and I will continue to say that the most important priority for the Black community is the Black community, not a particular political party.
Hey, yo, when I say black, you say Wall Street. Black Wall Street. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. When I say black, you say Wall Street. Black. Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
Phenomenal.